We need a system that serves our needs, not the needs of others. Remember, under a Trump administration, it's called America First. Remember that.
President-elect Donald Trump and the UK Independence Party's Nigel Farage.
I don't just want Britain to leave the European Union, I want Europe to leave the European Union. I don't believe that flag, that anthem and that president whose name no one knows really represent what Europe should be.
Two men whose anti-establishment rhetoric has seen them defy the odds and change history. Support for both Brexit and Trump's campaign was underpinned by white working-class voters attracted to a simple message of taking back control from the political elite. In Brexit's case, it was the UK Independence Party that grabbed attention when it took the largest share of the UK's vote in 2014's European elections.
The People's Army of UKIP have spoken tonight and delivered just about the most extraordinary result that has been seen in British politics for 100 years, and I'm proud to have led them to that.
2 years later, last June,
that the UK has voted to leave the European Union.
We've got our country back.
Speaking to Fox News ahead of the vote, Trump expressed his view on the EU.
I would say that they're better off without it, personally, but I'm not making that as a recommendation, just my feeling.
While President Barack Obama took the opposite view, that if the UK left the EU, it could affect a trade deal.
And UK is going to be in the back of the queue.
In August, Farage joined the Republican candidate on stage at a rally in Jackson. And as Trump looked on, he issued a call to fight back in exactly the same way he rallied UKIP supporters.
And remember, anything is possible if enough decent people are prepared to stand up against the establishment. Thank you very much indeed.
On another occasion, Farage was questioned by a journalist as to why he was campaigning for Trump.
You told Barack Obama to butt out of British politics when you declined on Brexit, yet you're here campaigning for Donald Trump.
No, I'm not.
Well, what are you doing then?
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here as somebody involved with the Brexit campaign, drawing comparisons between British politics and American politics.
Ahead of the US election, Trump, who vowed to deliver Brexit times 10, said that momentum behind the UK's decision to leave the EU and support for him were both fueled by frustration over immigration.
That those we are admitting to our country share our values and love our people.
But the UK's exit, or Brexit, was no easy ride. Many in the ruling Conservative Party and opposition Labour Party campaigning to leave the EU considered Farage toxic, a situation not dissimilar to what Trump was facing in his own party.
And it would be helpful if the Republicans could help us a little bit.
I went to the convention at Cleveland and it was pretty obvious talking to me that most of the establishment Republicans don't particularly like this man.
In the end, the Brexit campaign wasn't fronted by Farage, but by politicians including Boris Johnson, a Conservative MP who in his closing statement in one of 3 debates ahead of the vote took a line from Farage.
And take back control. I believe that this Thursday can be our country's Independence Day.
A line which was then picked up by Trump in his final rally ahead of the US election.
The corrupt politicians and their special interests have ruled over this country for a very long time. Today is our Independence Day.
Following Trump's victory, Farage tweeted, "Today, the establishment is in deep shock, even more so than after Brexit."
While the campaign is over, our work on this movement is now really just beginning.